I just lost another brother to them cold trees. My heart's broken, it's giving up on me slowly. So many of my friends is gone, I'm feeling lonely. All of this pain, I'm drowning myself in codeine. I just lost another brother to them cold trees. My heart's broken, it's giving up on me slowly. So many of my friends is gone, I'm feeling lonely. All of this pain, I'm drowning myself in codeine.
Welcome to Not Guilty Gang Live TV. Here is where you can express yourself and speak your truth. Interviews inside the prison and discussions with wrongfully convicted men, women, and youth. Also current news, information about the justice system, and the way individuals are treated inside the prison after they are released. A nice inside prison interview will be held today with Kane, a good brother and also associate of mine. We'll have him on live after the interview. As always, feel free to comment and give your support, love, and feedback. With that said, I will get started with my interview, along with my host, Ivana. I will ask the questions, and she will read the answers that Kane has written down in his own words. So let's begin. I sat down with this brother and I asked him to state his name for the public.
My name is ERROL Powell.
What's your gender?
Male.
How old are you?
NA.
What's your nickname?
I'm best known as Kane.
Where are you from?
I was born and raised in Brockton, Mass.
What's your nationality?
I'm the product of 2 natural-born citizens of Jamaica.
What city/state did your charge occur?
The place where my crime occurred was in Fall River, Mass.
What prison are you located?
I'm currently being housed at Norfolk MCI.
What was your life like on the streets?
Life for me on the streets was more difficult than it needed to be. And honestly, I felt that it was because of human wisdom of my mind.
How was the system treating you?
I couldn't give myself a chance because I couldn't form a productive train of thought that was going to help change my circumstances. Okay. The system has treated me like a slave. They treat me and everybody else like the only thing we're good for is cheap labor and to be treated like a cattle.
What are your charges?
My original charge was murder in the 1st degree, armed assault to murder, possession of a firearm.
Do you think you were wrongfully convicted? If yes, why or why not?
Even though I took a plea deal, I do feel like I was wrongfully convicted. Why? First and foremost, the court says that ignorance of the law is no excuse when you commit a crime. So in order to combat the allegations against you, they appoint you to an attorney. When that attorney doesn't separate you or omit or neglect his obligations as a student or a scholar of the law, you're left to be mercy of your own limited knowledge of the rules of law.
Are there appeals? Are you fighting them or denying?
Yes, there is an appeal process available to me, which is called a Rule 30, motion for new trial, and I'm pursuing that direction as I conduct this interview.
What is your lawyer saying? What type of lawyer do you have? Court appointed or retained?
At this present time, I have no lawyer, and it's going to be left to no mercy of my limited knowledge of the law. Because you plead guilty, you don't have the right to attorney.
Has the lawyer been working for or against you?
NA.
Have you had any problems in prison?
Everybody has problems in prison, whether it's something that their own hands has brought forth or the opposition that correctional officers or just the lack of support of friends and family and anxiety of it all.
How many prisons have you been in? Why were you getting transferred?
I I've been in as many as 10 states and county jails in my 10.5 years of incarceration.
Have you ever caught a ticket, e-report? If so, for what and why? What was the outcome?
Yes, unfortunately, I have received many tickets during my incarceration. I've gotten into 3 fights in the county and also a knife ticket. But in the state prison, I'm proud to say that I haven't had to do any violence to any inmates. I've come to the realization that I was fighting the wrong fight, and I should be focused on fighting the injustice of the system. And the war was on black men.
Now this is your opportunity to set the record straight. Tell your story. What do you want the people to know?
Setting the record straight, I sat in the county jail for 6 years fighting my case, and still my lawyer omitted certain facts of the law and ultimately lied to me about certain parts of my defense, like telling me that while during my pretrial stage that I couldn't put the Commonwealth witness on the stand so that I can cross-examine them before trial. What that allowed was for blunt lies to be told. As evidence, because all this was against me, I was rehearsed evidence of what I've supposedly said that tied me to the crime.
Have you received any degrees? If so, what are they? And how long did it take you to receive them? Were there any problems along the way?
No, I have no degrees.
How do you feel about the current state of the government?
The way I feel about the current state of government is it's a very oppressive in its delivery of its laws and moral obligations to uplift its people. Instead of making education affordable and available on all levels, to fearless make this nation great so that the masses can find their places in the world. They keep them in ignorance, incarcerated, and ultimately poor to the point where the world is to them is what they can see only in front of them.
What advice and suggestions can you provide others in your situation?
What I advise someone in my position is to educate yourself to the best of your ability. Know yourself. We allow others to tell us how we should be and what makes us acceptable, but you are enough for you.
What dangerous situations have you been in since being incarcerated? When and what happened?
The most dangerous thing that happened to me was during this COVID pandemic, when these correctional officers tried to abuse their authority. This is what happened. Two good brothers was trying to show love to each other, but was being a little rough. The CO called it in as a fight, which wasn't true. So they were onto the unit trying to get crazy until us, and we stood over them. It was 4 of us against 12 COs.
What do you look for in a mate? Do you have a mate? If so, where are they? Do they support you?
You know what's so crazy about this situation, this question? Is that the most valid question. We accept so much just in a companionship, but are never satisfied. What I look for in a mate is first and foremost honor. This is the first thought in mind, is to do right by me and focus their actions to self-reflect. Because if I'm dedicating to my life to you, then I'm doing everything in my power to honor you.
Do you have kids? If so, gender, age, and where are they? Have you seen or spoken to them?
Yes, I have 2, a daughter and a son. They are 21 and 20. They are not biologically mine, but they love and respect me and honor me with the title of being a father.
Are you embarrassed by your situation with your kids?
I can't say that I'm embarrassed, more disappointed in the time I've dealt with them. They turned around to be great kids and even better adults, and I'm happy that my intelligence influenced on them.
Do you have family support? If not, when did it end? If yes, how important have they been?
Yes, I have people in my family that supports me, but a whole, as far as it should be, but I'm grateful for them. Support that I do have.
For statistics, how important is it for an incarcerated individual to have support?
NA.
What do you think can be done to improve the prison system?
There are too many things that can be improved in the prison system, And once again, I'll never be able to finish this interview in a timely fashion. So I'm going to pick the one thing that would have the most impact. I feel as if I'm having access to the internet would improve the system as far as fixing the visitation rate. Being in prison, you forced to be stuck in the time you were incarcerated. And that doesn't really give you enough time to grow. When the information that you're relying on is coming from the word of a mouth, the books, or anybody from the outside, or even outdated books.
Do you regret the situation that sent you to prison? If so, what would you have done differently?
N.A.
What else would you want us to know about you?
The advice I would give my brothers and sisters of the same struggle is don't be afraid of truly getting to know yourself and accepting who you are. You might have experienced what you might have wanted to fall through, but there are success comes from your way.
I want to thank you for this interview. And how can people reach out to you and learn more about you? Also, do you have any shout-outs?
N.A.
With that said, I conclude my interview, but as always, I always like to give brothers the opportunity to speak so you all can hear them and hear what they got to say and what's on their mind. So right now, I'm going to let my brother Kane speak to y'all so he can get a little off his chest and let y'all know how he feels. So I'm going to give him that opportunity as of right now. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm alright today.
Okay, you could just talk to the viewers and just discuss what you want them to know.
Alright, I appreciate it.
No
First
problem.
and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation to those who follow along with my interview, allowing my words to reach the ears and the hearts of the curious mind. It was my wish that after relaying my thoughts is that it will leave room to allow a different opinion when it comes to the other side of the justice system. We need inquiring minds to hear our voices to bring about change in the justice system and prison reform. So thank you. So I thank Not Guilty Gang for allowing my voice to be heard, and I hope I helped influence change. And I want to give a shout out to the brothers and sisters of the same struggle. Our plight ain't normal, but hold the faith for better days. I appreciate you for your time. Is that all?
Thank you.
Of course. As always, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in, understanding and paying attention, and give these brothers the time to voice their story so you can understand their circumstances. It's well appreciated. I want y'all to keep tuning in, because like I said, I got several interviews and other individuals that will be telling their story. So I appreciate everybody for paying attention, and